Final Fight. Except it wasn't. Final Fight is an arcade beat-em-up game released by Capcom in 1989 that most people, when they think of arcade beat-em-ups, they think of 3 games. Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, or Final Fight. This is I won't say it's one of Capcom's most iconic series, but it's iconic enough to get into Marvel vs. Combat, so that's Marvel vs. Capcom. It's iconic. That's all you need to know. It's one of those games that it didn't start the beat 'em up genre, but Capcom's method to doing beat 'em ups is probably the most notable, in my opinion anyway. This game actually did not start as a beat 'em up game though. So this game was actually going to be a sequel to the original Street Fighter, known as Street Fighter 89. And it does have some Street Fighter-esque elements to it. Most notably, the breaking the car minigame that was in Street Fighter 2. Actually, let me check something. Yes, okay, I was correct. So, that breaking a car minigame in Street Fighter 2, this game did it first. I had to check release dates. So yeah, I don't know what made Capcom switch to a different idea. Probably because the original Street Fighter sold like dog doo-doo and was dog doo-doo. But regardless, so the story to this game is, what is the city called? Not Crime City. Is it Crime City? I forget what the city's called. It's either Crime City, Central. It's not Central City. Either Crime City or Coast City. Anyway, doesn't matter. But the city that you're in is riddled with crime. Like, it is like Gotham City, but in the daytime. And the new mayor, Mike Hagar, who you can is he even on this poster? I have no idea. But Mike Hagar is the new mayor of the city. He is an ex-professional wrestler, as far as I remember. And basically, he's like, all right, no more crime. I'm cleaning up the streets of my city. It will be safe now. And the main criminal organization that runs basically all crime in the city, Mad Gear, yeah, they didn't like that much, as you know, as criminals tend to do. So, initially they come to him and are like, "All right, we're going to give you some money and you just turn a blind eye." That went about out as well as you'd expect. So then they're like, "All right, better idea. Kidnap his daughter." They do. They give my boy Mike a little ring and they're like, "All right, we got your daughter. Now do what we say." But Mike, the certified badass that he is like, "Lol, no." And so him, Cody, who is the guy standing very nonchalantly next to the somewhat dead body, and Guy, the orange jumpsuit guy in the background, Guy, whatever he's wearing, are like, "All right, time to bust heads." So they just go off and start beating up every criminal in the city until they get to his daughter Jessica. So you have the option to play as Cody, Guy, or Mike Hagar, who I think everyone refers to him as Hagar. That's probably how I'm going to refer to him. But anyway, so Cody, Guy, and Hagar, each one is basically the same character, but with slight differences. So Cody is the bog standard character that you play as. He's normal, simple. He punches, he kicks, he does like a jumping spin kick sort of thing, or either that or a jump and then just kicks in both directions. Just simple character, nothing really to talk about there. Guy is he is faster but weaker. But the thing is, he's so fast. He's so fast then it really doesn't even matter that he's weaker because you can get so many more punches in that he's really fun to play as. Just darting in and out of combat. And now, his special move, I couldn't get his special move to work. I don't know why, but it's like a weird jump spin kick thing. And the character that I played my entire first playthrough as, Mike Hagar. Big, strong, can kill the first few enemies in like 2 hits. Yeah, all you need to know is he punches strong, and he does a whirlwind punch. Just spins around with both fists out and nays everybody. There are slight other differences. I could be wrong on this. So you have multiple weapons you can pick up: lead pipes, swords, knives. That's about it. But with the knife specifically, Cody and Guy up close will use the knife to attack, and far away will throw it. I am almost positive Hagar always throws the knife. I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost positive he always throws the knife no matter where you are. In terms of environments you'll explore, the game is pretty simplistic when it comes to where you're going. You're basically just going right, beating up everything that gets in your way. But every now and again, you will come across a unique scenery. A wrestling arena where you fight a samurai, that is not a joke. An elevator where you just keep beating up enemies as you go up. What was the other area that was really cool as well? Subway trains and stuff like that. There's notable environments. In terms of like that classic arcade BS, I don't think there's too much of it here. Some of the bosses, yes, there's a police officer named Eddie E. I believe that's his name. Normal boss initially, but when he gets like 1 or 2 hits left on him, he pulls out a gun and fires relentlessly. And it's a little hard to dodge, and it can chip away your health very fast. So that's pretty classic arcade BS. And then the last 2 levels. The last 2 levels are basically like, let's throw the 3 hardest enemies at the player in very large quantities. So, I mean, nowadays, none of that arcade BS matters, but looking at it from the perspective of, oh, I had to put a quarter in for every life, I would say I probably spent maybe $5 to $10 total playing this game. Maybe a little bit more than that. It wasn't like Metal Slug 3. It wasn't arcade BS like that. But it was a challenge. It was definitely a challenge. The only other arcade BS thing was like the final boss. The final boss was like Eddie E, but faster. He rolled around in a big mechanical wheelchair thing and just shot arrows at you. Oh, and the whole time you have like the strongest enemies in the game barreling down on you. The last 2 levels were a very like tedious chore, but not in like a bad way. In just I'm spending a lot of quarters to get through this. But yeah, nowadays where you have like infinite lives, it's fun. It's a fun 40 minutes to like 30 to 40 minutes to bust through, especially if you have a second player. I do not believe that there was an option for all 3 playable characters at once, which is a little bit stupid. So, when they ported it to the SNES, they're like, I have a solution. Take Guy out back and shoot him. Yeah, when they ported this game to the SNES, they just completely removed Guy. Like, entirely. which is also why Final Fight Guy is a thing, which is the entire first Final Fight on SNES with just Guy. That's it. There's no Cody, there's no Hagar. It's just Guy. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 1,000% sure on that. The only other thing that I can say that is pretty interesting to me anyway about this game isn't really anything to do with the game itself. It's more of the development of the game. There is a character in the game named Poison. Poison is the pink-haired biker rocker lady thing. So when this game released in Japan, Poison was just a woman. However, when this game came to America, they didn't want players beating up a woman. So instead of her being a woman, oh, excuse me. So instead of her being a woman, she just wasn't. They just said she was a man. It so a lot of people have kind of had debates on, is Poison a transgender character? And as far as I can tell, yes, that's what Capcom has stuck to, apparently. So to my knowledge, it's just something that I thought was really cool about Final Fight anyway, because apparently she's been that way even as far up as like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So hey, I don't know. Anyway, Final Fight. Overall opinions. I think if you are looking for one of the best arcade games that still holds up today, I think Final Fight is up there. I think out of everything Capcom has released in their entire arcade repertoire, Final Fight is top 10, maybe even top 5. It's short, but it holds up very well. I would give the game a solid 8 out of 10. It's still really fun to play even today. I just wish that some of the later entries had stayed as fun. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, 8 out of 10. One of the best beat 'em ups of all time, hands down, no question. Yeah, that's about it. Catch you later.